It happened in the hallway, loud, echoing, and cruelly casual. A lunch tray clattered to the floor, milk splashed across polished tiles, and laughter erupted like a pack of hyenas circling fresh prey. The new girl, her backpack half open and eyes wide, stumbled as the tallest of the three bullies sneered down at her. "Watch where you're going, new kid," he said, smirking as his friends chuckled behind him. No one moved to help. No one ever did, but what no one knew, not even the bullies, was that in just 3 seconds, everything they thought they knew about her, about strength, fear, and courage, was about to change. Her name was Lena Brooks, and she had just transferred to Ridgewood High 2 days earlier. Her father was in the military, which meant moving around had become a painful routine. New towns, new faces, and always the same whispers: she's quiet, she's weird, she thinks she's better than us. But Lena wasn't weird. She was just tired. Tired of starting over. Tired of pretending not to care. That morning, she had promised her dad she'd try to make friends. She'd even smiled in the mirror, trying to convince herself she could do it. But that fragile hope shattered with one cruel shove and the sound of laughter bouncing off the hallway walls. For a split second, she just stood there, humiliated, her hands trembling as she stared at her spilled lunch. Then, something in her eyes changed. The laughter died first. The tall boy, Ethan, suddenly stopped smirking. Something in Lena's expression froze him, calm, cold, unflinching. Not anger. Not tears. Just focus. She stood up slowly, brushing milk off her jacket. "You think that's funny?" she asked, her voice quiet but steady. "Yeah," Ethan said, forcing a laugh. "What are you gonna do about it?" 3 seconds. That's all it took. Before anyone could blink, Lena had twisted out of his reach, grabbed his wrist, and gently, almost gracefully redirected his momentum. The next sound wasn't laughter. It was a thud as Ethan found himself flat on his back, staring up at the ceiling in shock. His friends froze. The crowd that had gathered gasped. Lena didn't hit him. She didn't shout. She just knelt down beside him and said, quietly, "You shouldn't pick fights with people you don't understand." And then she walked away, head high, as if nothing had happened. By lunch, the story had spread across the entire school. The new girl took Ethan down. "She's some kind of martial artist." "No, dude, she just flipped him like in a movie." Ethan avoided the cafeteria that day. His friends did too. But for the first time, Lena sat at a table where people actually came to her. Not out of fear, but curiosity. A girl with curly brown hair named Sophie sat across from her. "That was kind of amazing," she said, awkwardly. "Where did you learn that?" "My dad teaches self-defense," Lena replied. "He always said it's not about fighting. It's about ending a fight before it starts." Sophie smiled. "Well, I think you just taught the whole school a lesson." Over the next few weeks, things changed. Slowly, but surely. Ethan stopped bullying people. One day, Lena found him waiting by her locker, holding a small carton of milk. "Peace offering," he said sheepishly. She laughed. "Truce." He nodded, then hesitated. I shouldn't have done that. To you. To anyone. I thought being the tough guy made me untouchable. Guess I was wrong." Lena smiled softly. "It's not about being untouchable. It's about being human." That moment didn't just change Ethan, it changed the atmosphere of the school. The whispers turned into respect. The laughter became friendly. And slowly, the hallways felt a little less cruel. Months later, Ridgewood High started an after-school self-defense program. Not just for students who wanted to learn how to fight, but for those who wanted to learn how to protect themselves, to find their strength. Lena helped teach it, her quiet confidence inspiring more people than she ever realized. At the final class of the year, Ethan stood in front of everyone and said, 3 seconds changed everything for me. Not because I got knocked down, but because someone showed me what real strength looks like." Lena smiled from the corner, proud but humble. She never wanted revenge. She just wanted peace. And somehow, she'd found it, not by shouting, not by fighting, but by standing tall when it mattered most.